Welcome into another YouTube exclusive for us here at Always College Football. Today, we're doing the top 10 returning running backs in the sport. There's a lot of good ones, too. I mean, there's some notable omissions here that I think could have phenomenal year, but I'm almost basing it a little bit off of what they did last year. So before you lose your mind, Michigan fans, I still think Donovan Edwards is going to be really good. And ultimately, when we fast forward to season's end, he'll probably be a top 10 running back. I just can't do it based off what we saw last year, and in particular, just one game, the national championship. So let's start at number 10, is Jaden Allen at Cal. Now, a lot of people are probably not very familiar with what he's done, but he had a big breakout year last year. Had more than 18 carries a game, went for over 1,300 yards, 12 touchdowns. He was by far Cal's best player. Actually, 4 of Cal's wins came when Ott went over 150 rushing yards, and he did it 5 times last year. Remember, Cal just went 6 and 7. So I think Jaden Ott is a really, really talented player and could have a massive year this year for the Cal Bears as they transition into the ACC. Devon Neal at Kansas comes in at number 9. Extremely productive the last couple of years. The guy has unbelievable speed. And if you think about this, all right, since 2022, he's rushed for 2,373 rushing yards. That trails only Quinshon Judkins and Blake Corum among Power 5 running backs. He has 25 rushing touchdowns. And in that span, that would fall fourth to Blake Corum, Quinshon Judkins, and Audric Estime. So really shifty with great speed and a guy that has a chance to do a lot of big things in that offense for the Kansas Jayhawks. At number 8, I'm going with Trevor Etienne. At Georgia, formerly of Florida, but if you look at just how he played these last couple of years, man, he's going to be awesome. And I feel like the sky's the limit now with some of the pieces that they have around him. And if you look last year, if Georgia had that one Achilles heel, it was the lack of a truly dynamic back in the backfield, which is rare for the Georgia Bulldogs, but Trevor Etienne might be able to provide that. 249 career carries, 1,472 yards and 14 touchdowns. It was really more of kind of a pass catcher last year, so his contributions to the passing game will be very beneficial to the Georgia Bulldogs as well. At number 7, Damian Martinez, formerly of the Oregon State Beavers, currently of the Miami Hurricanes. He's a punishing running back, just an extremely punishing running back, and had 1,300 plus yards after contact in 2022 and 2023. He also has a bunch of big carries as well. Only Quinshon Judkins has more 10-yard plus carries in the sport these last couple of years. So Damian Martinez now with the new offense, Shannon Dawson calling the plays there, Cam Ward at quarterback, he could be poised for a really nice season. At number 6, Ashton Jeanty from Boise State. Now, not a lot of people are probably super familiar with what he's capable of doing, but when you look at what he did in the Frisco Bowl in 2022, it was pretty dang impressive. 178 yards and a touchdown in their win over North Texas. Now, it's kind of been a bit of a backup, George Halani, that year, but now it looks like he's ready to certainly take it up a notch after a huge campaign in 2023. Over 1,300 yards, 14 touchdowns, and was the number 2 wide receiver in both catches and yards for the Boise State Broncos. So Ashton Jeanty, I think, has a chance to have a really nice season there at Boise State. Taj Brooks is in at number 5 from Texas Tech. He's a bowling ball, man. 5'10", 230 pounds. The guy is so difficult to bring down. That's why very few players in the sport forced more missed tackles than Taj Brooks. They found out pretty quickly. He's going to get the ball. He's going to run through contact. He's going to get downhill, and he's going to move the chains, man. I am so impressed with how they're going to build the offense around him and think that he has a chance to have an even more special season this upcoming year, which is saying an awful lot when taking into account what he accomplished there in 2023. At number 4 and at number 3, pretty good tandem up there in Columbus, Ohio. I have Travion Henderson in at number 4. I have Quinshon Judkins. Does it really matter who's 3 and who's 4? The only reason why I give a slight advantage to Quinshon Judkins is more availability, because if you look at Travion Henderson, there have been some injury issues. He's had some things that have really not been great as far as consistency because he's just been banged up from time to time. Missed 3 games due to injury as a junior. Plus, Quinshon now coming in, he's going to be able to take some of the load off Travion Henderson. And this 1-2 punch with Chip Kelly calling the plays is going to be on another level. It's by far the best tandem in the sport, because if you look at what Quinshon Judkins has done dating back to 2022, only 5 running backs can even come close to the production that Quinshon has had since 2022. 2,700 yards and 1,800 yards after contact. Think about that. That is absolutely absurd to think about the idea that he did what he did as a true freshman, then followed up with the sophomore campaign that was a little bit of a slow starting campaign, but got better as the season went along. But now that 1-2 punch is going to be almost impossible to defend it. Number 2, Omarean Hampton from North Carolina. Huge breakout year last year, led the country with over 1,000 yards after contact. And like our number 1 back, it became behind an offensive line that really wasn't great. If you look at the running backs and kind of the benefit that they get from having an elite offensive line, North Carolina was not that. Now, Drake May is gone, so Omarean Hampton's probably going to get even more out of the offense this upcoming year, and hopefully the offensive line for the Tar Heels will take a step as well. He's going to have a massive year statistically as long as he can continue to stay healthy. And then finally at number 1, the Doak Walker Award winner, Ollie Gordon. Now, he's going to try to join Jonathan Taylor, Darren McFadden, and Ricky Williams as the only running backs to ever win the Doak Walker Award twice. And he was the obvious choice last year when looking at what he accomplished. He led the nation last year with over 1,700 rushing yards, second in rushing touchdowns with 21, and second in yards after contact. Now, what's amazing about all of that is he had just 19 carries in the first 3 games. So he basically averaged over 150 yards in the final 11 games of the year. So just imagine where he's going to be this year when they know what they have and they know the identity of the offense that Oklahoma State wants to run. So Ollie Gordon, number 1, far and away at running back here in college football heading into 24. Hey guys, it's Greg McElroy. Thanks for watching Always College Football. Make sure you like, rate, and subscribe to ESPN's YouTube channel and wherever you listen to your podcasts.